In our tradition throughout the Jewish world, when we say remember, zachor, what are we talking about? The Holocaust. So what are we to remember? Why do we say remember? I mean, it's a simple question, but the answer might not be that it
doesn't happen again.
All right, it goes to the next phrase. We always say never again. So that never again will this type of horror happen. A horror that in 2010, many of us cannot comprehend. 6 million. And that doesn't include the non-Jews who were killed. And that doesn't include all of the people who still carry with them the memories of those horrors. Remember, never again. I have to tell you guys, we're doing a really bad job at remembering and living up to this promise of never again. Today, we don't need rail cars and crazy maniacal soldiers and a complicated plan. All that's needed is one bomb. There are 6 million Jews living in Israel today. Pretty powerful number. If Iran gets that bomb with just one touch of a button, and it will happen again. 6 million. It's that easy. And if you think it can't happen, you're mistaken. It can happen, but I'm convinced it won't happen. Because Israel is not going to let it happen. Israel can't let it happen. Because Israel is committed to ensuring never again. It's a promise, and you can't break that promise. Israel remembers. If Iran gets the bomb, Iran will use the bomb. Ahmadinejad has said how many times what he wants to do. Israel will not let Iran get the bomb. It's a matter of survival. By the way, this flotilla that many of us have lost sleep over the past week, it's about survival too. Hamas, which runs Gaza, is a terrorist organization with one goal: to annihilate the state of Israel. Israel has imposed a blockade legally according to international law and standards to prevent weapons from being brought into Gaza and being used to destroy Israel. They have stopped ships in the past which have carried such weapons. Israel lets aid in. You can go to the IDF website. You can watch and videos, and you can see documentation of all of the humanitarian aid that comes into Gaza. In fact, there are some reports that say that there is too much aid, so much aid going into Gaza. Part of the problem is Hamas puts it in warehouses and makes the people buy it. It's free aid. They are the ones torturing their people. And Israel brings shipments in on a regular basis. Our country is not acting aggressively enough. And as American Jews, we need to wake up and be aware of that. The United Nations is a failure. I think most of you, many of you, would agree with that. The UN has not successfully been able to stop Iran. And we see today how they have reacted to the flotilla, just like they've reacted to every other issue related to Israel. They've condemned Israel, as has the United Nations Human Relations Council, on which Iran has a seat. The propaganda from the other side has worked. and the condemnations are coming in from across the globe. Israel, as I heard a wise sage teach me last night, Israel is presumed guilty until falsely proven guilty by a biased UN probe. I'm convinced that one day in the not-so-distant future, we will wake up and we will see that Israel has taken out the bomb sites in Iran. And you think the world's reaction to the flotilla is bad. But I see it this way. The flotilla is a wake-up call for all of us. Many of us are slumbering. Some of us are deeply asleep. Some of us haven't slept in months. Some of us are dozing. But the flotilla is an alarm clock. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Look around you. See what's happening. Not that long ago, North Korea illegally torpedoed a military ship of South Korea, killing dozens of South Korean soldiers. Did the UN condemn this? No. Did the United Nations Human Relations Council condemn it? Has the world been outraged? Do you hear anything about it now? No. Israel, according to many legal scholars, boarded a ship the way you're supposed to board a ship at sea, from helicopters, ropes down. The ship was violating a legal blockade. Israel announced to the ship that they were going to be loading. Israel entered 5 other ships, no problem. Entered this one ship where the soldiers were attacked, dragged, some of them just being reported, dragged below in a kidnapping attempt. And Israel is globally condemned. Thank God for Vice President Biden coming out, and if you haven't done so yet, you need to send him a letter thanking him. That's the way politics works. But there are still mixed messages coming from our country. We did not stop the UN Security Council from attacking Israel's actions. And our Secretary of State is one of the louder voices calling for an international impartial investigation, undermining Israel's sovereign authority and Israel's right to protect herself. Many in the world do not remember the 6 million. Many of us in this room. It's hard to remember because we were born way after it. Worse, many in the world just don't care. And worse than that, many would be quite happy to see it happen all over again. Some of us stood on the corner of Broward and 2nd. I think it's going back a year now, year and a half, maybe 2 years. During one of the countless missile attacks Israel faced, and we were standing in support of Israel, when we were approached by a group of Palestinians who pointed their fingers, spit in our faces, and told us, "Go back to the ovens, Jews." I've heard it directly from them. Many of them want us to go back to the ovens. The guys who attacked our soldiers on the flotilla were martyrs. That's what they wanted to be. They want us gone. If you truly believe in never again, if you truly believe that the 6 million Jews who call Israel home today have a right to live in peace and protect themselves from anyone committed to violating this peace, if you believe that Israel has the right simply to exist,